Hey guys, today's exercise is not only going to work your core, your entire core, not just your abdominals, like think 360, so abdominals, pelvis, back, the arm and leg to back connection. It's gonna help when you get your neck in the right alignment to strengthen the back of your neck. It's gonna help with your balance, it's gonna help with your control, it's gonna help with your coordination. My name is Sammy, I'm a classical Pilates teacher. It's March and I'm going over a new exercise in Joe Pilates original order every day this month. Today is the leg pull front and the leg pull back. So I'm going to be going over two exercises today with the transition to get into each one, as well as modifications. I'm going over it with this book called Return to Life. This book is your mat manual. Everybody needs to get a copy. It is in the description box below. It does help me out if you buy from that link, but it costs you nothing extra. Now let's just get right into it. So he has his pictures of him showing it here, and let's go over his verbiage. So pose 1, take position illustrated. He's in a push-up position. Gosh, my mouth is so dry right now, you guys. It's like a desert. Arms shoulder wide in right angle position. So they're like this, and they're shoulder wide. Hands at right angles, head in straight line with body. This is important because we all kind of have this forward hanging head from our daily lives, and it is hard to hold the neck up, especially with these back neck muscles being overstretched and weakened from that posture. So to really try to keep that neck in line with the rest of your spine is going to help with your posture and the strength of your neck to pull the head back where it's supposed to be. Yes, it is. You're welcome. Legs close together, toes pointed downward. What's funny is whenever he's, and I was taught this by my mentor, but whenever he is lying prone or facing down, and he says toes forward and downward, he's still pointing them behind him, which would technically be backward, and toes forward and downward would not be, now he shows it like this in the pictures with them pointed, but toes forward and downward, if you go off his words, forward would be this way and downward. And I think that's a great point. And I switch it up sometimes. I see what my body needs and what position of the feet will help me. The feet are very important. But here he says toes pointed downward and they're like this, which would make you think that then toes forward and downward when you're on your stomach would be like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious what you think about that. Okay, heels close together, knees locked. So he doesn't say he's in a Pilates stance. He doesn't say that he's parallel. But in that verbiage of saying heels close together, legs close together, and he doesn't say toes close together, my guess is that the toes are a little bit separated. Pilates stance is very narrow. It's not like your first position in dance. It's heels together, toes apart, but it's like 2 fingers maybe between your big toes. So you're still basically parallel, but it takes the bone here out of the way so that you can get to the backside of your body by really getting those heels together. That can also be done in parallel. For someone like me who's bow-legged, it's a little bit hard to find my inner thighs and glutes to wrap if I'm not turned out a little bit. But knock knees should never turn out. Okay, moving on. Sorry, going off on these tangents. Pose 2, inhale slowly, raise right leg upward and backward as high as possible. Exhale slowly, lower right leg to pose 1. What's super interesting is I learned this, that you lift the leg and you rock forwards and backwards, or backwards and forwards, depending on who taught it to you. And then once or twice, I originally learned it, rock forward and backward, and put it down, and then go to the other side. He says nothing of that. It's just lifting the leg and putting it down. What my mentor did explain to me was that the lifting the leg so high kind of sends you forward a little bit, and then lengthening to put it back down kind of sends you back. So there, that rock that we all learned as lift and rock and down is really just you allowing the body to move. You know, the stomach's still pulled in. That's what's hard for me in this exercise. But you're still allowing the body to move while you're trying to get that leg up, and it has a rock. So I'd also love to hear your comments about that. My mentor is really awesome, and I totally trust. She has really like dove deep into trying to understand exactly what Joe wanted. But of course, different postures and body positions will you have to teach the body in front of you. I always say that, but just so that you're aware, like what he was originally talking about. I've been learning for the past couple of years from somebody that has really taken her time to get nerdy with all of this stuff. And a lot of it isn't exactly what I was originally taught. And my certification is Power Pilates, which was great. I still love that I went through that certification because not all the classical certifications are as good as that one. I've seen a lot because I'm a military spouse and we travel. But oh my gosh, I'm going off on a huge tangent. Anyways, let's just move on. Okay, so then pose 3, he's explaining it on the other leg. So inhale slowly. You inhale to raise the leg, raise left leg upward and backward as high as possible. That backward's important because there's never up and down, right? You have to have length too. And then exhale slowly and lower left leg to pose 1 position. Note, repeat the foregoing exercise 3 times right and left. Cautions, pose 1, arms must be shoulder wide in right angle position. And then pose 2, move legs only, knees locked. And pose 3, move legs only, knees locked. And then I want to go over the leg pull back, which this one he calls the first one leg pull front, and this he just says leg pull, but I learned it as leg pull back and front because your front is down, and then back because your back is down. That's how I think of it to remember, because this was really confusing to me. Okay, so the leg pull or the leg pull back. He has his pictures. And then let's read through it. Pose 1, take position illustrated. So he's in a reverse plank. Arms shoulder wide in right angle position. Hands at right angles. Now his hands are facing out. I did not learn it that way. Usually when he says right angles, they are straight. He's not showing them that way. He's showing them out. This is like, you know, why there's some of this stuff that's debatable and learned differently. So keep that in mind. I guess they're still right angles. They're just facing out. But he doesn't specify in his verbiage. Head in straight line with body. So he does not have his chin to his chest here. However, again, if you're really struggling to find those lower stomach muscles, not that you're gonna feel it necessarily burn like you're doing this crazy ab workout, but if your butt is just dropping and your tailbone's going too heavy, then digging your chin into you is gonna help that come up a little bit. Okay, so heels close together. So again, looks like he's in a Pilates stance, a little bit turned out, and I learned it PullL. I do prefer it in a little bit of a Pilates stance. Knees locked. And then pose 2, inhale slowly, raise right leg upward and backward as high as possible. So he's like backward behind him, upward and backward as high as possible. Exhale slowly and lower right leg to pose 1 position. This is a really hard exercise for a lot of people, including yours truly. Clearly I should do it more. Pose 3, and it's the same on the other side. So inhale to kick, exhale to lower. Note, repeat the foregoing leg exercise 3 times right and left. So same thing. And we're gonna switch legs after each one. And then cautions, pose 1, arms must be shoulder wide in right angle position. Pose 2, move legs only, knees locked. Same with pose 3. So it's the same that we did before. You're just now in a reverse plank, still kicking up to the ceiling. Okay, so let's do both of these. Now, you just came from swimming Now I got cold. I was totally warm. Hopefully I'm still a little bit warm. So we just did swimming. And now you're gonna bring your hands right under your shoulders, curl your toes, and in a perfect world, pull the stomach in, lift your head in line, and push up to a plank position. Now you wanna make sure in your plank that you're not sinking in those thighs. So you have to find balance to where your hamstrings are also lifted up, and then you're gonna pull that stomach in and keep your head in line. Okay, so now he lifts the right leg as high as possible and puts it back down. And then the other side, find your balance again and lift. See, this leg is where, scoot forward, Sammy. This leg is where I lose it. So you might have one or both that tries to lose it. So I gotta make sure I really internally rotate that leg and then put it back down. Now, like I said before, the rock would come from lifting so high without sinking so that it pushes you forward. Because if you sink, you're just getting into your back. So you're lifting and down, lift and down, and again, lift and down. Good, and then you can come on down for a second. Okay, I'm gonna show you a fancy transition and then I'll go over modifications for both. So you just finished here. You're gonna bring that left hand in a little bit closer towards the center, and you're gonna put that right hand, turn it, and put it behind your left hand. Now you're gonna cross that right leg, I guess under your left, and you're gonna lift up and open and flip over into your reverse plank here. And like I said, he was turned out a bit this way. So now he would squeeze the heels. Now you have to reach through your legs and pull your chest up in opposition. This is really hard for me just to even hold. So you can always hold here and do nothing else. But now to kick and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Ooh, zip it up. Good. And hold, and lower it back down. Oh my gosh, those are so freaking hard. I can't even talk while I'm doing it. Modifications. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm tired. Okay, so I did just film a reformer workout that I'm hoping to get up soon. So muscles are a little fatigued. So you did swimming, yeah, you lower down. You can't push up into a push-up, then come up onto your knees, curl your toes, and lift up. All right, so then maybe you just hold here, and you can just kind of rock here a little bit if you need to. You can also lower those knees down. Now you're not gonna lower down and be on all fours this way. So you're coming forward like you're doing a push-up, but you're gonna have your legs hip distance parallel. And now lift a little bit, but pull the stomach in. Reach, lift, down, and in. Reach, lift, down, and in. Maybe just reach and come back, because your weight is not here reaching. Your weight is here, so it's harder. Okay, so that's a great modification for that. So you could do this in a forearm plank. I don't really give it to anybody. So you could do it there. I don't usually give that to anybody, but I'm not against that. I would work on holding the plank position and then coming back down and holding the plank position. And sometimes if you just think about, like, you know, you'd kick the right leg, you'd kick the left leg, and kick the right leg and kick the left leg and try to hold, imagining that you're doing that, then you'll hold for the amount of time that you would have to be in your plank to do it and build up to there. And then just start like lightening one and then lightening the other, because you want to build the strength to hold yourself up to do that exercise. Okay, moving on to the leg pull or the leg pull back. Shoulder bridge will help you get here. Shoulder bridge, this modification where you're up and you're marching, being able to march and not drop a hip is gonna help you with the leg pull. And then being able to find that back to arm connection and back to leg connection would be really beneficial to make this exercise doable. And you could do that in like double leg kick and in swimming and finding that length so that you don't sink. And then the shoulder bridge and all getting really strong in those and being able to get the shoulder bridge kicking and lowering is gonna help you with this. It's kind of hard to grasp this concept, but your arms start down here. So you're not just putting your arms up, right? And that's how we like hurt ourselves doing things in daily life, because we're not connecting our extremities into our back and into our abdominals. So if I'm sitting like this and I just lift my arms, all this is just whatever. But now, if I think about them starting here and I start engaging the back and I lift up from there, so there's this and then there's this. Now my whole back is working really hard, and I actually, now I'm like, I can go, I can lift. I'm not like, gravity is not taking me down. And you'll feel the difference with your body between like, I always say this to my clients, you know how a kid throwing a temper tantrum could be dead weight and you can't pick them up? Or they could be super excited to see you and run and jump at you and you can throw them up. So it's kind of that concept. If you're feeling it in your wrists a lot, it's because you're sinking into them. And if you're feeling it in the backs of your knees a lot, it's because you're sinking into them. And you need to connect your extremities into your back all the way around through your abdominals to be able to hold you up. Okay, that being said, I know this video is so long. I'm sorry, I'm just like a chatterbox. Oh, my kids are being so good because they're on their screen. I'm about to go get them off. Okay, so he had his hands like this, but I also learned it like this. So figure out what feels best for your body. And then same thing. So heels together, toes apart, really squeeze them together. And then you can focus on just lifting. And again, thinking, okay, right leg, hold, right leg, left leg, maybe you lift up. Now, if you feel doing that sinking into your knees, you gotta lift out of your knees a little bit and really work the glutes and the backs of your legs. You should not ever be sinking in your knees, okay? And there's this stretch this way and the stretch this way. So you wanna find balance between those. Okay, so holding is always really good, and you don't sink in those elbows. I tend to do that. So lift out of your elbows, bend them a little bit, but pull up versus sinking like this. And then I've also seen it done this way, where you're in this position and you reach out and down, out and down, out and down, and come back. Out and down, out and down. Pull up, out and down, and come back, and lower back down. And you're gonna try to do the same thing where you're pulled up and out of everything. These are 2 advanced exercises. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try them and try to hold. Do a variation if you need to, and you wanna keep trying to learn the order, especially to put it in there so that you can really get the order stuck in your head. When you're not thinking about what comes next, and you really know the order, you'll get a complete workout every time, but then you can really focus on the details. And advanced is really in the details, especially the exercises you learn from the beginning. You should just be doing them 100 times better by the time you can do these exercises, okay? All right, that's my advice to you. Please leave in the comments what you want to see next. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you tomorrow for the next March Madness video. Bye.